Welcome back to Live, Laugh, Love Real Estate. Today we are going to have a little bit more conversation about the NFT project that we're putting together, and what it is and why we did it. It's a collaborative collective of entrepreneurs, financial people, artists, musicians. And we wanted to have an environment where everybody could come in. Creativity is a mindset, and so many times people that part of them is kind of shut off because of how society dictates how we are to act. You know, that we have to work 9 to 5, and that's an easy week, right? People are working, 8 to 7, and we wait until we're in our 60s to retire, which is supposedly living. And so there's so much that we aren't really, passion isn't fostered. And if you have a passion or a hobby, you have to do it after those working hours. So we wanted to create an environment of like minds that were creative and passionate about what they do, and have it be like a masterminds and a brainstorming in a way that you can take your creativity and actually monetize it. How amazing would that be? I'm learning this later in life. You're a lot younger, and what a wonderful way to come in and really fully be who you are. So that's a bit of a background as to how it got started. And then, Kosta's done so much research on actually how to put something like that together, which is a full-time job in of itself. So why don't you talk a little bit about that? And how you've researched it, and why don't you take it from here?
Sure, yeah. So super excited. It's tough with this collection. I think probably next week we'll probably drop the name and a little bit more of an official announcement too. As we were saying last podcast, it's tough to not divulge too much information, but still we want to give you guys a little bit of a foundation, a little bit of an intro, just so you can be excited for what's coming next. Mm-hmm. That's kind of part of our launch strategy too. But in launching it, it's pretty much just like launching any sort of brand or business. You're doing the same things, the same process is involved, the same amount of research is involved. It's just kind of a different space now with NFTs. Is so new. People don't really get what NFTs are. And there's a lot of different uses for NFTs. There's some art NFTs. There's some that have utility. There's collectibles. And it's something that I definitely recommend people to do research in, especially if they're wanting to get in the space or just curious about it. It's going to be something that's adopted. People like to think that NFTs are just art. And the thing is, that is partially true. That's just what we're seeing right now. But NFTs are going to be used in anything. Medical records, real estate transactions. It's just proof of ownership. The best thing about NFTs is everything's stored on the blockchain. So then you can go and see who owns.
Explain to people that don't know what the blockchain is, That might be a good way to start.
Sure. Yeah. So the blockchain's a digital ledger that's public, that you can see the list of transactions publicly. So you can see if I say, hey, I am the owner of, let's tie it back into NFTs in terms of art form. Bored Ape Yacht Club is a popular NFT project. Celebrities are buying it. Jimmy Fallon, Post Malone, Steph Curry, all own it. Everybody wants a Bored Ape. They're going for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But with that, people like to joke around with NFTs and say, hey, let me just screenshot an NFT and then I can change it as my profile picture, which you very easily can do. You can go to the website, OpenSea, whatever it is, right click on the image, the Bored Ape, and then set this as your profile picture. And while people might just brush over that and say, oh, wow, they own a Bored Ape. The thing is, each NFT has a number to it. So there's usually if there's a collection of 10,000, it'll be Bored Ape 5,050, whatever it is. There's a number attached to it too. So usually what you can do is say, okay, this person, I see that this person has a Bored Ape in their profile picture. Let me do some research. So if you go over to the collection on OpenSea or whatever website, you can say, okay, let me search for Bored Ape number 550. And I can see under the list of transactions and see who the actual owner is. Mm-hmm. So if I'm claiming to own the Bored Ape, but I go into the website and see owner owned by, I don't know, Bob Jones, then obviously I'm not the owner of the Bored Ape. Right. And it's funny too, I started a TikTok where I just talked basics about NFTs just to give people some tips, because there's so much misinformation out there. Mm-hmm. People are taking advantage of people. They like to say the funniest videos are I bought this NFT for $1,000 or $100 and I sold it for, now it's worth $500,000. And it's and people are falling for it and being like, oh my God, like I want to learn more. This person has all the information. Like, let me watch his videos and subscribe to them. And so it got to the point where I was kind of like, you know what, I'm tired of this. People are getting ripped off and different things like that. So let me create some videos and to kind of broaden the information and actually share useful information. Because the thing with NFTs is, it's just like selling something on eBay. Those videos where it's like, I bought this for $100 and now it's worth $500,000. You can go to OpenSea, the website that's like kind of the eBay, Amazon, and you can see that it can be listed for $500,000. So people go, oh, it is going for $500,000, but that's not the case. It's
not what it's sold for, right?
The owner, just whoever owns that, decided to list it at $500,000. So you could buy like literally. In one of the videos, I gave an example. I was like, you can go to the mall today and buy a pair of sneakers for $200, and then I go on eBay and list them for $1 million. That doesn't mean they're worth $1 million.
That's right.
So people are just getting fooled by that too. So definitely do your homework. I think you need to do at least even just a few hours of basic knowledge just to understand some concepts. That few hours is not enough if you really want to get into this space. I don't really know how many hours I spent on it. Probably a lot, but not enough. You can always do more. But NFTs are going to be around for a while. And then tying that back into our project, why we decided to launch this specific one. And I think this is popular with any business too. We talked about on one of the episodes before about blue ocean strategy. Yeah. And while I have not read the entirety, I think I read some of the audiobook and the book in general, but the concept of the book's pretty easy to grasp just from like reading like the summary and general stuff about that from the author. And the idea is that you want to find things that aren't saturated. You want to find blue oceans, meaning clear pathways that there's not a lot of space and
not
noise.
Coming into an idea that's already been done and trying to do it better.
Yeah.
You know, finding a need and filling it in a different way.
For sure. Finding a problem and giving a solution. Yeah. Relating to real estate, real estate, becoming a real estate agent is a terrible, not even close to a blue ocean. It's probably one of they say the opposite of blue ocean is a red ocean in the book.
Scarlet.
And it's, that thing is red, that deepest shade of red.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the hardest things that people don't understand. The idea behind real estate too is, and we're gonna have real estate aspects in our project, but like becoming a real estate agent, it's like everybody in the world wants to become a real estate. It feels like everybody is. Oh, I was at the dentist. Oh, my husband's a real estate agent. I was like, oh, like, does he do it full time or is he, what's the deal? He's like, oh no, they do it part time. This is the amount of people that I just see that have their license, and I think that's great too. It's okay to have your license part time and just help out, because at the end of the day, like a lot of the times people just help out friends and family. It's just a super saturated industry that you need to do something else to stand out amongst the rest. And when we had Matt Leonetti on, he talked about that, saying that he was doing the standard practice that real estate agents do. And it wasn't working for him because it wasn't him at the end of the day. And the market didn't want that. There's already tons of other people that are doing whatever the general marketing is on billboards and this, like, who cares at the end of the day?
Right.
And on that topic, with that, kind of tying that into the NFT project and what we have done with real estate as in starting the podcast, doing different things on Instagram and social media stuff, taking a kind of a different approach, a more personalized touch. We're doing the same thing with the NFT project. So by researching these NFT projects, just like I would research any industry, I saw what was going on, what the market was kind of projecting and seeing what other projects that were being successful were doing. And it came to me that one big thing was missing in a lot of these projects. And there's a bunch of different things that I'm trying to tie this into one, but I think the overall thing that was missing was a true sense of community.
Right. And let me just interject, because that's exactly right. And not was it only missing in the NFT projects that you were looking at, but it's missing in, so let's go virtual world and then our physical world. That's missing. That's what everybody wants. That's what money can't buy, is a community and right. like-minded people sharing, not competing. So we have that in our physical real world, and we have it in this NFT. I don't know that you can necessarily call the NFT what we're doing project, yeah.
Collection,
collaborative.
We try to make it as easy to understand, as that's why when just speaking it through, it's like I'm trying to give real life examples to try to relate it to NFTs, because a lot of people ask me about NFTs and they have no idea what it is. So trying to explain it, because the concept of NFTs and what NFT projects are doing are very similar to like other industries, just it's in a different field.
So even this would, think of any membership organization, a business organization that you would be in.
Social house.
Exactly. This is your membership, and it's actually a token.
Yeah.
And you can resell it and you'll benefit from what goes on within the collaboration. And we'll give you more information as to all of that, what all of that will include once we drop it live. But the gist is that you going out finding what was missing, us looking at what's missing in the real world, putting this all together in what this new way, this new internet, this new way of interacting is going to be. And it's super new right now, but it's, like we said in our last podcast, I think it's, probably 5 to 7 years out. It's going to be, how did we not have these?
For sure.
Yeah.
To relate that to there's a very social house networking group fraternity aspect to NFTs and community. Mm-hmm. And what it pretty much does is I'll give an example of and if you're a social house or something listening to this, like maybe you take this tips or maybe you can just contact us and we can help you out with it too.
Right.
Because join
our project.
Join our project. If you like any of what we're saying too, we're, of course, as we said in the beginning, we're going to give you guys more information about everything and tell you like we'll have the website going with it so you can read and actually see the details. But this is just kind of like the preview to it. But just picture a social house. Say that Soho House is a popular social house. We have the Quinn House in Boston. Mm-hmm. To say if instead of and I don't really know what they do for their membership, like how they verify it, if it's just like you have something on your phone that they scan at the door when you walk in, or just like a list of names of who's actually in the club. But picture if they took the club, and they created like almost a digital card. This digital card, it was a token. Let's just call it a token. That then you could prove that, okay, Kosta and Lisa are members of the Soho House because they have this NFT token in their digital wallet. You already have a digital wallet on your phone, like Apple has a wallet. It's the same kind of thing. Your credit cards are stored on there too. It's pictured as another card in your wallet that then shows written on the blockchain. If you went to and see the metadata of that actual token, you could see that it is in fact owned and verified that Lisa Loveland does own that card. So, but the beauty with NFTs too is you can then say, if I don't want to be part of the social house, the whatever Soho House or social house, whatever club you're into, you could resell that on the market. So you could be like, all right, I don't want this anymore. And usually what NFT projects do, and this is the difference with NFT projects, is they have a limited supply of the collection. So they're going to say, hey, there's 10,000 of these NFTs that we're releasing. Mm-hmm. So then there is demand for it too, because if you have an unlimited supply, there's not necessarily a demand for anything too. So if somebody really wants to be in the club and you're selling it, then the market dictates what people are paying for it too. Mm-hmm. And it's really up to, say, like the social house, say the Soho House or the Quinn House, to provide value to its members, to create a sense of urgency, demand, and increase the value of that membership card.
Right.
I think that's kind of the best way of putting it too. And the other things you can do too with NFTs, the beauty of it too, is if I own, say, one of our NFTs from our collection, at any point in time, I can airdrop somebody something, which means I can give you pretty much a gift. So if Lisa, let's say you own, which you will, of course, own one of the NFTs in the collection. At any point in time, I could say, you know what? All members of the club, we're going to give you a free t-shirt. We're going to give you this. We're going to give you a book. We're going to do a giveaway for a laptop. We're going to do something different. So it's always trying to create a sense of value to why you should even be a member. Because if you're just part of a members club specifically, which we do take that aspect of that social house members club into the project, but a lot of the times those social houses are just built on the aspect of, like, you can go, there's a bunch of different things you can do there. Some, like the Quinn House, has restaurants, has different bars and lounges areas too. But the whole idea is the value is in the people that you meet there.
Right.
And you're enjoying that.
And the connections that you can make.
Right.
Within all different industries. So if you're an artist, a musician, an entrepreneur, a financial guy or woman, I mean, there's going to be all kinds of people that can offer mentorship, that can brainstorm, musicians that want to come and, or artists or writers that can't get publishing house to publish them. We raise funds, and they'll be kind of like a Shark Tank. And you pitch your idea, and we'll help you fund it. So there's a lot of super exciting things that are going to be coming out of this project.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that based upon that, like the social house aspect, that's only the base and the core of our project, is that sense of community. I mean, community is huge at the end of the day. Yep. The peer-to-peer interaction, the networking, to be, if you're, say, we're calling the project a creative collective. So meaning that it's not a real estate organization, it's not a business organization, it's not any
Probably
other,
very little real estate, I would say.
probably.
So, I mean, well, there's some ideas in it, but it's a pull away from that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a creative collective, and just exactly as it means. We want people that are creative in any industry. It doesn't matter if they're business or not, and I think that a lot of industries and other clubs fail to do because, I mean, hey, it works. If you want a real estate mastermind, if you want a plumber mastermind, whatever you want, I mean, that's great, but that's very limited. Like at the end of the day, if you're a real estate agent, you're competing with other real estate agents.
Right.
I mean, you can be best friends and like help each other out too, but you're still in competition with each other.
Right.
So it kind of makes no sense for me to be networking with other real estate agents because
except for it takes you want to know your other people in the business, and that's what it takes to get deals done. But
totally,
for the most part, people aren't going to share their insides, scoop as to what has made them successful or what their network is, and that's understandable.
It is. I'm not saying that. It's just the cold hard truth. Like people will beat around the bush and say, "Oh no, we help each other out," and like, but if a deal's coming and there's one $5 million listing that two agents are competing against and they're friends, they're going to want to get the listing.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter how great friends they are too. It's not going to be like, no, you take that. No, it's going to be like, who's going to do a better job? Who provides more value? And who just
it's competitive.
Yeah. And that's fine. It should be competitive because that creates a better experience for the home seller at the end of the day. But the idea with the mastermind here is instead of trying to do something that's limited to a geographical region, say in Boston, we want to do it worldwide and with different industries. So you can be in a different country and be part of this. And at its core, it's just a place to be like, I noticed this, and none of this is meant to be negative. And it's tough to, I guess, express this in a non-negative way. But for me personally, and part of the aspect of starting this is when you, especially after college for me, and we talk about how this is prevalent in any age really.
Yeah, I'm way past college, and it's been my entire career.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Of just thinking differently and it not being the way that corporate America wanted it to go.
Right.
There's envy and in human nature and people and spheres of influence and all of that stuff. So, and you're experiencing it when you came out of college and you didn't want to go party and do all the things your friends were doing.
Yeah, I mean, I really have no regrets with college. Like I'm happy I went to college too. It was a great experience. I didn't really learn too much except for making great connections with friends and maturing.
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
I could have probably like paid more attention and just like went to class and like really just like try to learn as much as I can, which I did get good grades, of course, and did the work, but I wasn't spending any extra time that I had to get the work done, which was relatively low just for the scope of work to do, which is, I think worked out better because anybody I really listen to now kind of just says the same thing, which I didn't know at the time, but like a lot of the successful people I listen to now are like, college really pretty much is just a networking thing. Go there making as many connections as you can. You'll learn some stuff, but half of the stuff, it's like they cram it all in and they teach you about, like, especially business school, they teach you about every single business industry. And it's like, how am I supposed to memorize know what a human resource person does, a marketer, a manager, or this? It's like,
right, you got to get out and do it.
Exactly.
Life is all about our experiences. We can know a ton of things. If we aren't able to execute and experience, what's the benefit?
For sure. And I had a great time in college. I had my fair share of going out and partying, going out the bars a couple days a week, whatever it is. Not get into too much details there, but I'm glad I got that out because now that I realized when I graduated college and looking back, it was like, you know what, this person, all of our friends, we were going out, we were having a great old time. We were celebrating like we were like kings and queens, and like we were just, for lack of better words, the shit, for example. We thought we were the best, and like it was great. And nothing could, like, I guess, stop us. We just thought we were kind of not better than everybody else, but we were pretty much celebrating nothing at the end of the day. When I look back, and during that time, I would give you a different answer, and I hate to like poo-poo like all our times like at college, and it's fine.
But it was age appropriate. I always say it's all about being age appropriate.
Yeah.
Right. But
looking back for me, it's like we were celebrating, especially for me, like we're having good times at parties, going crazy and stuff like that. For what? I have done nothing. I've accomplished nothing. What have I accomplished? I mean, certain little things. I mean, I like to do music and different things. I was doing different cool things, but the main focus was let's go to class and let's go party. Let's go have a great time Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. And it's like, looking back, it's like, what was I even, it kind of, not ashamed of myself, but it's kind of like, I look back and I'm like, this is just like kind of cringeworthy at the end of the day. Just like certain other people in your sphere, just seeing other people like thinking that they're the coolest person at the party. And it's like, like you're here, your parents are paying for college and you don't have a job and you're just like at like, but what, like,
right. And now you're here.
And now it's like after college. And
you made the transition.
Yeah. So just like after college, kind of like realized that, and just, I'm glad I kind of got out of that funk. And I think it's, as you said before, age appropriate. It's like, I do like to still have a good time, of course, too. But for me personally, I'm kind of one way, all in or nothing, on different things like that too. And it's like, if you have a goal, and I feel the more and more I explain that story, like I don't have to explain anything. I could just give experience. I don't have to say that about college. I don't have to say anything really. I can just kind of just go with the flow and explain what's going on. But I think people, and the more and more I do explain that, other people are like, you know what, I agree. Like I've had friends reach out being like, yeah, I'm done with that dude too. I'm not partying anymore. Like I'm trying to like be successful. Like what am I, what's the point of going out and doing this if I can't like have experienced life in the best way?
Right. And I think it's hard for people, you know, a lot of individuals want to do that, but there's that collective, you know, consciousness that keeps them in because it's hard to break out on your own. You feel like you're going to be out there, you know, paving the way all by yourself. And then you realize that there's a lot of other people, once you make that stand, that also think like that. And it's about being who you are attracts what is like you. You know, what is inside of us, we attract from the outside. So if we're attracting things that don't feel good, then we need to take a look within ourselves and make that change and change ourselves within to get a different outcome. And the fact that you realized that so early on in your career is amazing. And the fact that this project that we're doing is encompassing all of that, where you're the early start. I've been, you know, annoyed with that process for, 30 years.
I feel your pain. Don't actually feel your pain. I do, but like not to that extent. Like now I kind of realize.
And so it's going to be fun.
Yes.
Stay tuned. So again, thank you for joining, and we will see you next week.